What's going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. I am your host, of course, Crash, in the building as per usual with coffee at 8 o'clock at night, or like 8:30 at night. With me, I've got my partners in crime. We got Static G here.
I do the thing.
He does the thing. And of course, we got Meza in the building.
Hello.
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
Not much. My nose is running, but I'm always catching up to it.
Yeah, and we all just catching up to it. We catching up to the damn show. I know this is usually recorded on Mondays. Apologies. This is the 22nd of August, 2023. That is a Tuesday. I was just, I had a very eventful weekend, and bro, when your body's just gone, I don't know. I don't know if it's old age. I'm ancient. And you're just not feeling it. You're just down and out. It's like, oh, I can't even pull myself out my damn couch right now. So I was feeling a little under the weather, but all good. I'm back. I'm resurrected. I got my 3 bars. Like I said, the coffee definitely helps. So we're here and we're live. So once again, this is Double Tap. This is the podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms. Make sure to follow us also on YouTube, where we do highlight the show. That is still Double Tap FGC. We do clip a bunch of video moments, segments, subjects that we talk about throughout the show there. Make sure to go subscribe as we, periodically keep updating it every week with the content that goes on here. If you also want some nice visuals, want to look at our faces, on top of obviously the articles and stuff we bring up during the show. So we appreciate everyone that has done it. So make sure to go do that. All up. All right, but let's get started, man. Luckily, because it's Tuesday, we happen to just be lucky enough to report on something that's super hot on the spot. Because usually we tend to just because Monday is cursed, or really any day that we tend to do the show tends to be cursed, because this show has moved around so many times during the week. We still can't seem to align ourselves up with some new stuff when it's like really important, but we happened to get lucky this time. So I guess let's just jump into it. So Gamescom 2023 went down earlier today. Static, you were streaming it. I know I was in your stream. We were watching. Meza, I know you was watching on the side, probably during work hours. All good. I won't tell them.
No. Hell no. I didn't have time. I wish I had time. I had no time.
No, it's all. Yeah. Definitely didn't do it. Got it.
For one.
Got it.
Once.
Got it. So Gamescom, we reported on this. MK1 was gonna make its way there. Ed Boon had already tweeted about it. It was gonna be the next spot to show something, and show they did. We got a new trailer. It's not the only game, but we got a new trailer that dropped, and I think the consensus on it was like the trailer was pretty hype, right? I think that's how we all feeling right now.
Yeah, I mean, finally they showed more Raiden. Like, we saw Raiden before in like small clips and bits and pieces, but now we finally got an actual character trailer for him. But he's been revealed since the start. But we got my lady Sindel, my queen, and Shao in this game.
Yeah,
take Khan.
No Khan. Yeah, for those that might be a little confused, remember Khan is a title. It's the title of the ruler of Outworld, I think, specifically, or at least in the old timeline. We don't even know if there's a Khan. We don't know if this is Sindel Khan. Liu Kang, I think, in the trailer didn't address her as. But yeah, his name is just Shao. But yeah, so yeah, we finally, you were just, like you said, you were kind of not complaining, but you were kind of talking about it before, how you wanted to see more Raiden. You said that like last week or something like that. Like we do not have enough of Raiden. We don't know what Raiden is really gonna be about in this game right now. We know he's fighting, he's training, he's a Shaolin monk of some kind, but we just didn't know where he was sitting in all this. Well, we finally got a little bit more of it, where it showed that he is well, let me come back a little bit. The tournament has now kind of been verbally confirmed, right? I just I kind of thought about it when they said, like, we actually haven't heard about an actual tournament in this timeline, right? The entire point of Mortal Kombat is the tournament to save realms, to defend realms from invasion, and that slipped my mind until I think it was Sindel, where she talked about a tournament between Jared, which was her husband, her late husband. So Jared's still dead. Sorry, bro, you're like Uncle Ben. You're just never gonna get a break. Like you're always gonna just catch it. Between him and Liu Kang, where Outworld fights with Earthrealm, and they pick a champion. They like pick a specific champion to represent them. So it's not like a bunch of them. So far, it seems to be one. And Outworlds is going to be Shao, and Liu Kang picks his, which is Raiden. So it's like, okay, cool. So Raiden is the chosen one here, and surprisingly not Kung Lao. I thought we were gonna go that path, even as far back as like MK11.
Well, yeah, MK11. It was Shao. It was Kung Lao. He was the first, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was the first one picked.
But then this could also be alluding back to MK9, where Raiden chose Kung Lao and he chose wrong, and it was supposed to be Liu Kang. I don't know if you remember when you started Time Over, and Kung Lao just died because he wasn't the chosen one.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that. Maybe it could be a bit of an homage to that. But yeah, so we finally get to hear, or we get to see some more of the story. You know, everything's at peace, this, that, and the other. And we just get to hear, see, kind of the inklings, right? Shao is, I'm going to try really fucking hard not to say Shao Kahn this whole time. I'm going to let y'all know this. To see Shao actually even talking to Sindel, right? And going like, hey, he's already trying to plot things, and she seems to be against it. She's like, hey, know your place, general, because he is their general, which is fine because that's what he was even far back in the deep lore, right? He was general to Onaga, which was the Dragon King of the Outworld, the original ruler of Outworld. That's like the 3D era. So like, that's a little deep if you don't know that. But Shao was a general then. Oh, he was Shao Kahn then. But yeah, so you're seeing some of the little story beats are starting to show up a little bit more, and they're scattered enough where I'm like, man, how is this all gonna fit together? I can't wait to play the story because I want to see how it's all connected.
I think they do a really good job with deterring us from the tournament itself and giving us like almost a movie vibe, right? Because like every movie we've watched, we never really talked about tournament until later, like halfway into it.
Yeah.
So this kind of feels like a movie where we're getting all these different outside experiences and watching everybody kind of grow. And then you're like, oh, I'm attached to these characters. And it's like, all right, let's murder these characters in a tournament, right? So we kind of got that movie vibe. And I love that it's Liu Kang kind of reverse roles with Raiden.
Yeah, it's so weird, man.
And that's the really cool part, because I was like, as soon as I was like, oh, that's so dope. It's like taking it back to actual Mortal Kombat 1, where, he chose Liu Kang, right? And it was just like, oh. Okay, I see like the head nod to it, but I do like that Shao. It feels like everybody's young, right?
Yeah,
Liu Kang's the old one, but everybody else is young.
I was gonna bring that up too. Like, even back at the end of MK11, right, when we saw Raiden as human, I was like, damn, he's older. You can see he's like kind of I'm like, I know he didn't reset the timeline then, but it's just, yeah, this is a younger Raiden, and or really everybody, right? It's kind of rejuvenated. Even Shao. I almost said Khan again. Even Shao, like, it is so weird to see him without his mask on. Even though we have seen him, he was in MK11. You did see him and such, especially in the DLC post ass whooping. But to see this much of him, like, he already seems to have a lot more. They're not keeping him as just some guy that's just trying to rule. I mean, as at this moment. But I hope he's very cunning. I hope we get to see like what his strategic way of trying to get his way is going to be versus just brute force. He was a little, in some of the MKs, he was just a little like, just pretty one-dimensional character, right? Power, whatever. But it's like, he could still be about it here, but I want to see how he takes those steps. This is very Games of Thrones-y feeling is what I'm getting here when he's going to be plotting, because I would assume that's how it's going to go. I could be wrong. I'm still going off of nostalgia and how it's known to be. But yeah, God, visceral ass fatalities. The trailer was dope, and there were other pieces, right? The look keeps impressing me. I see how they they're kind of updating characters, right? I think we were kind of talking a little bit about it before the show, how like Sindel has gotten a facelift, not in a bad way, but it's like she's also looked different. In this version of the game, she's younger. You know, they've already been kind of moving like characteristics for certain characters like Katana and such, a bit more, you know, Eastern orientated, right? A little bit more on that spectrum. And now they did the same thing with Sindel, where it's like, oh yeah, I could see her. Not to say they couldn't be like, oh, mother and daughter before, but you kind of see it a little bit more, right? You see the resemblance a bit more, which I was like, that was like an unnecessary detail. They could have had anything and I would have believed it, but adding it, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Especially the vibe. Me, you see her peer in my man's soul when he says some stuff like, yeah, like, you know.
Oh, after this, what?
Ooh, hey, hi.
Fast forward
how's it going?
Just a tiny bit here.
Mama? Huh? Sorry. What's up?
No, fast forward a tiny bit after he slashes these girls. Her look is like,
Let me see. Which one was her look? Oh, yeah, that fierceness. Yeah, she's like, don't you forget this, man. Don't you cross this line.
I can uppercut you with my hair.
Remember, split ends kill.
I do feel like you could see the kind of like the connection between the outer world and like it's almost like a bridge, right? Sindel seems like a bridge to the outer world and to the mortal world, right? Where she's like mortal realm. She's like kind of partially like looks human, but then you start seeing the hair. Like she has this like presence that's very human, like the way she carries herself. And then as you see it transferring to like I'm trying not to say his name too, Shao, you start seeing that more outer realm look. Like you're like, oh, it gets darker as you know, kind of dive deeper into it, right? So I really love that concept to what they're doing, where I feel like kind of connected to her, and then I'm like, Shao, I kind of feel really disconnected, but he has like that very normalized, like a little like off the normal path, but you can feel like you're like, oh, I kind of can relate to him, right? He just wants one thing, and it's power, right?
Yeah, but like,
you feel like when he talks to people, it's not just that. Like before, like the past games, he's just like, you're puny humans, mortals.
Yeah, it's I like the direction. But let's talk gameplay though. Yo, gameplay. I think this is the coolest I've seen Shao Kahn ever play.
It looks like he's actually useful.
The way they're making him use his axe, which he's not using a hammer, he's using an axe in the game as his primary weapon, even though he's had spears and such. The axe, like some of the moveset, like to the stand grab back into the axe, into like putting your opponent's chest into it on the ground. Son, bro, that is dope.
There's a bit of layers there. Like it means you can do certain moves with and or without the axe. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too. And they also have noticed somewhere in the trailer too, where you see him put it down, and I'm wondering like, oh, like how does he get it back? Do you have to go get it? When he gets hit, it just like comes back to him. So I was like, okay, cool. Like it kind of resets his state, so you're not at disadvantage for having your axe placed somewhere or something like that. So you don't get punished for it, because it'd be terrible if the character's own kit punishes their own gameplay if you use it or if you get opened up. That's it's kind of detrimental. It's amazing where they're taking the assist throughout the game, because Motaro assist is literally his moveset, where he can teleport, he can shoot a fireball, he can put a barrier up. Yeah, he did it all, bro. Yeah. He did it all. He did double tail fireball. He did the teleport. He did the fireball. He did the deflection, right? And his grab. Yeah. His grab is literally verbatim, like how he did it in the original game. Like, grab. Let me see. Did we get to see the? I think it was. Remember, he didn't reflect in the old game. You just couldn't throw a fireball at him. No, he could. It either would go back to you, or he would just go through him. Would it go through him? I think it would all go through. I'm pretty sure that was a reflect. Reflect. It was a reflect, but I'm pretty sure you could. Most of the moves were highs though, so you could just most of the fireballs. So you just crouch it. That's why he was my favorite. Wasn't super good? Like that. Yeah, he's definitely up there in terms of some of the best mini boss. But yeah, the grab. Because I hated getting grabbed like that in the original game, because he would just grip you and he winds up, and then, you know, that classic MK3 hit that, you know, that was a hard ass hit. Yeah, I 40%. Still feel it here. Yeah, 40%, whatever, 30%, 35%, whatever you got hit with, 2 of those, you was done. It gives me hope that the cameos can be deep cut, even more deeper cut characters. For like, sure. I don't even know who the other guy is that's helping Raiden. Shinjuku, is it? It's in the tweet. The actual person that was helping Raiden, that's Shang. Isn't that Shang Tsung? No, that's not Shang Tsung. That's not Shang Tsung. Demacia or something like that.
Let me see.
I thought it was Shunjinko.
It's not Shujinko.
New cameos. There's a tweet. It says new fighters: Sindel, General Shao. New cameos: Motaro and Shujinko.
Oh, so it is Shujinko. Okay, so Shujinko was the main character in not Armageddon. I believe it was Deception, because he's the one that frees Onaga. He's like a character that you play in his entire quest in the conquest first person, the conquest single player mode, where he goes around and he travels and he ages and learns techniques. It's super deep cut. It's before the one with the two brothers from Armageddon. It was the initial conquest, but that's where Shujinko comes from. He was like the new chosen one, because at that point Liu Kang was dead, but it was a farce where he actually ended up unlocking or letting Onaga free, or bringing him back, and that's what caused a lot of issues. So he's got some lore. He was even in one of the MKX, I believe. MKX endings where Cassie Cage like whooped his ass. Yeah.
Which is weird, because I mean, I don't know how much you guys know about the lore. I'm kind of learning a little bit as I go, because I don't know about him, but I just learned that he was trained by Baraicho, who also trains obviously Liu Kang and Kung Lao. But they said his special ability is he was gifted a special ability to be able to copy. Any move. Wait, it gets better. Copy any move or any power that when he fights anyone, any super, and he can that he acknowledges. Yeah. So as long as he acknowledges it, he can do it. That's kind of insane.
The brother's Taskmaster. He's Taskmaster for Mortal Kombat is what he is.
Yeah, but he also seems like why am I forgetting? What's the main boss's name? Holy crap, I forgot his name.
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung. Yeah,
it seems
like it seems very similar, like the first iteration. It seems like almost, but it's not obviously. But it just seems like kind of that same style, which is like maybe hinting towards us getting closer to that.
Potentially, yeah. There's definitely a potential there for Shang to show up, but we'll just have to see. But in the meantime, though, what we need to acknowledge is this ad break. So don't go anywhere, guys. We got a little bit more MK to talk about after this, but we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. We've got we've got a good look at the MK1 trailer that dropped. A lot of awesome content. There's still a little bit more, man. There's still other characters that we know exist, and I've yet to get a gameplay trailer. You know, talking to my other generals that are in the game that we need to actually see. We haven't had a chance to see in the story beats out here anyway. I know they showed off at San Diego Comic-Con, but that's yet to make its way to online. But we got to see some awesome gameplay. Sindel, it's like the last piece that we wanted to talk about, actually, is her gameplay, right? Her gameplay was fun. I like what they're doing with her in terms of just overall her kit. Like, it all makes sense. Dive kick and all, which I don't remember if she ever had a dive kick previously.
No, but she had the back two into the jump kick, which she didn't have a dive kick. And now, granted, I didn't play her much out of 11, where she had more of the staff stuff in the air, but again, there were so many different variations. Was there variation in 11? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, you got to pick your moves. Like in the,
she had like the spear and stuff like that. You could also use.
Yeah.
So that, like,
but this, they took it all away and they made her MK9 again. Like, that's what it feels like. She's all MK9.
Did you even go further back?
Did you peep like the Tanya move in there that she got?
The
flip kick.
The flip kick.
No, just the flip kick in general.
Well, remember, she had a flip kick in the other games too. This one. And in the last
one. Oh, yes. she did in 9, right?
Yes.
She did in 9.
Yes, it was forward, forward, back, forward.
Okay.
Or forward, forward, up, forward.
You're right.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad they gave her back her scream.
Her scream. Yep.
And like later on, they showed even more.
Restand.
Yeah, the flight. The flight into
the levitation.
The flight combo was sick. What else was there?
Fireball in the air. Come on, where's the fireball in the air? I want to see the MK3 fireball in the air. Right? Remember that?
I need Exactly. I do need more Sagat fireballage, though. I don't know if fireballage is a word, but I do need more of that. Just the lame and keep away. There's a little bit more near the end, but I already automatically just saw MK9 Sindel coming back into play, and I thought that was awesome. I like the spear. I do like short range, like long range type of fighting with the weapon and stuff, but for Sindel, I don't know. It was just the hair fighting is my bread and butter. Yes. I did see a fireball, so we didn't see a lot of fireball, like I said. So
yeah, well,
I'm just hoping for more.
Well, now let's talk Raiden. You know, we hadn't seen a whole lot of him. He's had like so far the most gameplay like pieces here and there, but not an actual like, you know, full blown exhibition or showcase of him. So Raiden's got some new tricks. He's got some old homages, but not like 100%. So we've got some area effects, a lot of electricity, right? I was gonna say two things. One, for him being a human, I'm really interested as to hearing why he has these powers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm like, bro, you were a thunder god.
So wait.
Why do you have those abilities? I noticed it.
I was gonna
say, did anyone else notice this shit? He's got his medallion back. His original medallion as far back as MK9, that is like the crux of the whole time travel thing, right? That it breaks, and it was his, you know, it was his sign to see as to his decisions changing the path and changing the timelines. He hasn't worn it before, worn it afterwards. The only thing he wore that was kind of like that was like Shinnok's amulet. We saw, right, story-wise, it's like canon that he was wearing it afterwards, hence Dark Raiden. But I think he might have had it in 11. I'm not 100% sure, but he has it here. So I'm like, I'm super stoked to see that little kind of design detail in there. So I'm wondering where in the story that's gonna matter. Maybe that's like his source of his powers, possibly. He's been gifted by the elder gods and allows him to do, or by Liu Kang, whatever, to do this. So yeah, he's got his moveset's interesting, man. He's got fireballs, a lot of fireballs. You was talking fireballs earlier, Static, but my man's got a whole lot. We showed it when he was doing a little exhibition against Sindel at some point, where she was also reflecting them back to him via Motaro.
But he's also got the back forward, you know, the bye. I don't know what he says, but yeah, right here,
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, combo. Yeah, gotta love man. I don't know. It's just weird. But what the heck, Sindel? Where'd your hair come from?
Yeah, then we get the X-ray, right? We get to see the X-ray from Sindel, which then she goes like comically Super Saiyan 3 hair, like the conditioning and the mousse, it just it goes off. This is dry. This is after her hair most likely got hair blown. Like this is after a shower. You hit it with the blow.
If you notice her chest too,
the blower.
It's like she had a blood seal almost.
I don't know if that's actually. I think that's blood from Raiden. It looks like she already. Yeah, it looks like she already has it. Or like, yeah, she definitely already has it.
It looked like it activated or something.
Yeah,
that's why it just looked really like that.
So she grips you, backhands you. We get to see Motaro's X-ray, which just pulverizes somebody's lungs. Yes, he did. Yes, that is his other move.
Yeah,
and then of course she gets to use her hair. Split ends are terrible.
Oh god.
Oh god, that was it wouldn't be an MK game without something that really makes you feel uncomfortable. And then we get a fatality, which also rather gruesome.
I'm not a fan.
Rather gruesome.
But I'm not a fan. It feels too similar to the ones before, except for that. Her saying follow your queen or whatever she said.
Yeah.
But the tear out of the spine and dome, we've seen that before. Like, I don't know. Just maybe scream at the dude again. I don't know.
I feel like you want something like a little more unique, which I kind of get. It feels a little rinse repeat.
I thought we were gonna get some sort of hair, you know, busting out or into their body thing, and it was about to get more gruesome. But then just finish it off with the spinal, ending.
I do like what she said to him. Just like, yes, obey your queen or something. What'd she say? I can't hear it.
She says, hold up, follow your. It says, who's your queen?
Like, who's your queen? Yeah.
Yeah, who's your queen?
Who's your
blah?
Because, I mean, if we realistically think about it, she's the one running things right now.
Bro,
so,
where your ribs at, though? Okay, I see some ribs, but, like, where are the rest of them?
Some of them
the rest are broken from, whatchamacallit?
From Motaro's kick. Yeah, they're pulverized. I guess so.
They're in pieces right now in his body.
Yeah, so The trailer was dope. I think it was definitely a good way to show off, these new characters, the cameos, and some of the story. Because once again, this game is coming out in September. This is under a month away. I believe September 19th. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe off the top of my head it's September 19th. So it's like, damn.
September 18th.
18th. We are well below a month right now, and this game's coming out. So hoping to hear, kind of it's going to be a little bit of a mad dash. The marketing's going to be out there, but the game looks good. I can't wait for it. I'm super stoked to get the story, to actually hear to see what's going to happen. I'm very, very intrigued, especially how it all is going to end. Is it going to end like very open, kind of ready for like MK2?
As long as it doesn't end like how 11 did, which was kind of dumb.
Well, 11 left open-ended. That was the whole point, right? They were resetting it, right? They kind of told you, like, I'm resetting it. Especially if you did the DLC. It's like, I'm really resetting it.
But it felt like the same thing that they did with Street Fighter 6. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Street Fighter 6 had that, like, roses go back in the past. We don't know what's happening anymore. Everything's open-ended, right? Anything could happen.
Wait, 6?
Yeah, you don't... I mean, 5. Sorry, 5.
I was going to say, I was like, what? Yeah, I remember.
She's not in it yet.
I remember she had a little bit of a...
So much 6 talk.
Potential foreshadowing there. But... we'll just have to see. MK known to having incredible stories. Their single player story mode is pretty much the bar that has been set. I think it's better than the movies. Shots fired, especially the new movies. I think cool. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't just adapt. Literally, why don't you get the writers from these MK games to write you a goddamn movie? I think it'll turn out way better.
Hollywood.
Yep.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Well, wait. What about the writer's strike?
Well, yes, there's that.
Wow.
Yeah,
is the movie?
Weren't they writing the movie before that?
Yeah, the movie was written before that, but I think it's delayed. At least I believe it is. Regardless, though, that is gonna be it for MK1 at Gamescom. We did get also another announcement at Gamescom, of course, and that was Tekken 8. Tekken 8 came out with a slew of new characters, with a whole bunch of information in terms of an actual release date. We were just talking about releases, but we also got release date. Total of 38 characters confirmed. I gotta pull up the trailer, but 38 characters confirmed, posted up by FGC Daily. That includes, Dragunov, Leo, Steve Fox, Shaheen, and Yoshimitsu confirmed.
There's a shit ton of characters on release.
Oh yeah.
If they're all considered released, right?
Wait, sorry. Not 38. 32 characters in the trailer. It was a typo. But still a lot. Yeah, regardless. 32 characters, still a lot.
Did Smash release that many on start? No, it was like 20-something, right?
There were 65 characters in the start of that game. Ultimate.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wait, was that after Ultimate or Ultimate?
No, Ultimate was launched with 60-something characters.
With 60-something, yeah.
Remember, you had to unlock them all by just playing the game.
So let me see. So with that, we get different versions. We got the deluxe, we got the ultimate edition, including things like your playable characters, your one pass, digital skins, avatar skins. By the way, those avatar skins, those avatars in general, those look like, I don't know about y'all, but all I could see is Xbox avatars. Is it just me, or is anyone else just kind of like feel that?
I got Wii avatar. Well, like without detail, right? With detail. They seem like Wii characters a little bit, but yeah, I guess avatar.
I'm just seeing myself playing 1 vs 100 again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on Xbox. Yeah.
But I like the whole ecosystem they're building, the whole kind of lobby system they're making to kind of make it, I guess, be an interactive zone versus just like a simple like spot to get matches on, which I mean it still is.
You got to take from what you know is working. People love the battle hub for Street Fighter 6. Why not just do the same thing? I think it makes sense. And then guess what? They're probably gonna have it where you can watch Tekken World Tour in it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Get a real like PlayStation home type of feel for all my triple OGs that know about that. God, it's kind of dope. Imagine that. It died. Then it came back. I think it's like online in like weird pirated and homebrewed
cool concept
servers. Yeah, like imagine they create rooms to be like virtual room to watch Tekken World Tour finals here or whatever, and you actually can be in there and you like throw popcorn at the screen or throw tomatoes. Like it reminds me of
when you see something.
I go back to like MK9, like when you used to do custom lobbies. Like your characters would be there, your avatars would be fighting, and then you could actually like give kudos or like I said, throw tomatoes or whatever at the screen. Like it was fun. I imagine that a little bit more freeform, and then you can be like, all right, cool. They're doing an ad break. Let me hop on a cab, and then you get to play. That's dope. That is dope.
Yeah. It's the open accessibility. We've lacked that for years, and now we're finally seeing it, and it feels fresh, new, long overdue. But at the same time, it's here now, so people are going to be way more excited about it. And who knows? This might also open up the ability to maybe bring back Tekken Force, stuff like that. So that
I remember.
Play right then and there. Just jump into some of these.
Put in Tekken bowling, right? Like Tekken, put it in there. Go up to the second floor, like, yo, hit me.
You're bowling with your avatars.
Exactly. So we got to show off a bunch of costumes, customizations, not just for your avatar, but of course your characters that are in the actual game itself. Not really a shocker. Tekken known for having incredible amounts of customization. We get some of the old school stuff, like even Paul getting his OG gi and his original hairstyle, which to no one's surprise was going to be accessible. Like it'd be really dumb for it to not be accessible. So I think actually even we saw for a brief second, I think Lily and Asuka like swapped costumes in their little intro. I think if we saw that, you see actually Asuka with Lily's outfit, and you see Lily with Asuka's outfit, right? Like, cool. Whatever you want it to be. So it's dope. It looks good. We got to see, like I said, those additional characters. We get to see even there have been bios that have been updated and renders. So let's look at the OG tradition of seeing what the hell Yoshimitsu's drip is this time. His theme, very cybernetic, kind of organic. You kind of see like muscle fibers or something like that in between here, but very demonic. He looks dope. So no squid games on this one. Right. He's always changing it up, so it's cool to see the latest rendition. But yeah, we got renders for everyone else. Dragunov, Shaheem, Leo, Steve. Yeah, exactly. Everybody. And we actually get to see a render with how many more characters are going to be coming down the pipeline with the DLC. It's gonna be dope. But they're in full force, man.
Asusena. Sorry, it's full force. I need more Asusena.
Yeah, needs a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of these games are going in the fun route, especially with the whole arcadey type deal. I mean, Street Fighter had the World Tour and all those mini games. Now you have Grand Blue, who's coming out with like Fall Guys type content.
Yep.
And now you have more customizable avatar stuff from Tekken. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so the game is gonna be, we got a release date, January 26th. That is about a week, I believe, or barely 2 weeks after TWT finals, which I think is happening on the 14th. So that's New Orleans, right? Finals, out in New Orleans. So that's gonna wrap up, and then once everyone is done, they take the plane home and they decompress for a week. The grind now starts for Tekken 8 to begin.
Very smart.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I don't believe you could have made it any tighter unless you're like, thank you for coming to TWT finals. The game's out tomorrow. Like, oh shit. And it's like, you don't want people rushing back, right? It's like, give them a little bit of time to breathe or not going at all because they just want to be home playing Tekken 8, right? It makes sense. Absolutely. I think the timing was A+.
And it doesn't get in the way of any other tournaments unless you're counting Frosties, but again, it doesn't get in the way of any tournaments. Like, oh, this tournament doesn't start, sort of like Combo Breaker at Street Fighter 5 still, not 6.
Yeah. So with that, we've got just a couple prices already been listed on Steam. You can get the base versions for $69.99. Nice. We got the deluxe edition for 100 bones, and then ultimate edition is coming at 110. So you can go ahead, add the cart, get it set up for yourself. Give Harada whatever money you are already dedicated to giving them, but you just have to wait till that January 26th release. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Can't wait to see and hear about possibly more DLC, because there is, we're not gonna spoil it here, but there are confirmed characters that have been leaked for a long time. We expect to hear from those characters, or what those characters are finally going to show off on. So there is plenty to still be showing off. But in the meantime, we got our base. We know what we're going to get into. And, you know, Kazuya's confirmed sneakerhead. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. All right, so with that, with Gamescom finished up, we've got some more updates to get into. And actually, before we get into those updates, which will include Guilty Gear Season 3, with Johnny coming out, his and his gameplay kind of getting broken down, his character guide. But there's been a build that has been out there, so there's footage out there. But we're going to talk about that after this break. So we'll be right back after this, guys. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we are back once again. Thank you for taking a second. We had to just kind of get all games calmed out. You know, GTA 6 is not getting released, so we have to just wait for a second there. We just had to hold it down in the meantime. But yeah, so we've got Guilty Gear. We've got some Guilty Gear Strive to talk about, man. What, this week? 2 days? 24th, right? I think that's happening on the 24th. I gotta double check. I'm pretty sure the new patch is, yeah, it has to be, because we're hearing inklings of patch notes being released very soon. They might happen during this show. If it doesn't, it might be the next day. But because it's the 23rd right now over in Japan, which would make sense if they release it right now versus, you know, the day of. But we're gonna talk Johnny. Let's talk Johnny real quick. So Johnny got his character guide released for all the masses. He is back. He is here. And he looks to be terrifying in this game, just like he has in the past. There's a couple tweaks. Obviously, not gonna give him everything, but next to everything is also pretty good. So, did you guys get a chance to peep out the gameplay?
Did I?
Did you?
A bit.
Okay.
Yes, of course. So much so that I was testing him out in old games just to see, and I was like, I need air dust now.
Air dust. What is his air dust again?
His air dust was the wall bounce.
Okay.
The overhead kick.
It's like the fire kick or whatever.
Yeah. That's right. The one that he like smacks you straight back.
No, he does an overhead kick and he smacks you on the wall and he keeps.
Doesn't fire come out of it?
He can do.
Or is that the other one?
No, fire comes out of half circle in the air in the old games. Half circle forward HS is the that old move. So I love what his design is looking like. Sorry, my nose is running really fast. However, what I don't like is the input for Mistfinder. I don't like quarter circle back. I get it because you want to sort of hold back. Like I get the motion, but I don't like it. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that. But again, it's a new game. It's not a deal breaker. I do want to learn him in older games. I know he's quite crazy in Rev. I mean, obviously Omito. Is it Omito?
Yeah.
Who is the Johnny God?
The Johnny God. Yep.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch his play from older Evos and other events.
But what I was gonna say though, isn't Mistfinder like hasn't it always been quarter circle back?
No, it's quarter circle forward and you hold and you let go.
Are you sure? Oh, I think it was in Plus R, but in Rev it was 214p.
Oh, okay. What in Rev?
Yeah,
no, in Rev. See, I never played him in Rev. I didn't touch him at all.
Okay, so
I stopped playing the game by that time.
You're talking accent core. You're talking OG Johnny.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the right game. Okay, the original.
This guy,
the good
right
game.
So 1, 2, 3. No, I'm just
it's like
no, one is bad. I don't know where you're going.
One was kind of crap.
I've actually never played one. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, in Mistfinder, in Plus R and such, like it is 236. So that is quarter circle forward.
It's probably for
in the original game. If you get destroyed, you lose 2 rounds. It's GG.
Yeah.
What? Okay, don't even worry about it. We don't need to talk about it.
All right, so
you get access to destroy if you get a counter hit. So just go.
So Mistfinder, well, not just the only tool. Like, you know, he is staying to the Johnny gameplay, right? Mid screen, mid range, incredible pokes, great buttons, movement. He's got his vault, right? He can actually go ahead and vault around and actually kind of has some movement options there. And Mistfinder as well gives it some movement because you can backdash, or I don't know about forward, but I know I saw backdash that you can do. No, he's had In the air, no, he never had movement in the air for that. He never had it in the air, but he always had it on the ground. So he kind of had it was like the pre-Nago teleport feel is what he had. But you only could do it once versus Nago doing it a bunch of times until you pop. But
is
now
this move really called about to turn up?
About to turn up, yeah.
No. Turn up is what happens when you misfinder the card.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When you actually hit it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's about the turn up. No, turn up is the move itself. The
turn up.
Yeah.
When you use the move.
So you just turn up because this one say deal. Yeah. So deal is the new mechanic Johnny has that is replacing the coin for those that might just know homeboy with the clink click. He throws a couple coins here and there. If you've seen him in previous Guilty Gears, it was a integral part to his gameplay. Because depending on the the coins hitting, it would level up his misfinder, which would then do all kinds of shit, which would include as incredible overheads, unblockables. It kind of goes on. It goes on, and that's what made him so dangerous. Because it also OTG'd, so it was like guaranteed on knockdowns and such. So he just had a set play that very few could do much about, to be honest.
Not just that, there was mist that was unblockable in the old games.
Yes.
Which would actually lead to the unblockable after you had a certain level. I think it was level 2.
You could do it. It was like level 2 was like the easiest way to do it, but they nerfed it to make it a little harder. So a lot of people went for level 3 because level 3 was still like easier to do, but you could still do it with level 2. It was just harder. So that's what went down there. But regardless, we've got like I said, we got the vault that's back. But back to the turn up real quick. And I'm not saying turnip, I'm saying turn up. Let's turn up, baby. So he basically got a business card from Answer back in Rev 2, and he, I guess, kept the idea, or he liked how Answer put down business cards, and he is now going to use that moving forward. So the card itself is, like I said, is replacing the coin. He gets to throw a card out, and depending, that's the deal mechanic, or the deal move, which is quarter circle forward. PK or S, punch, kick, or slash, depending on what button you press, they will go in different spaces and angles if you're in the air. It's all done in the air as well. And the point about these cards is that when you hit the card with his misfinder, on hit, it creates a second hit that lets you easily juggle. No RC needed, more than likely, because you get to prop your opponent up in the air. But on block, it gets to guard break, which is just like, oh my god, this is gonna get so steezy. It's pretty cool, but like they're not going with the coin. You're not gonna have to worry about supering to refill coins. So he used to have his coins were another mechanic within the character. It's like Nago has bar, Happy Chaos had bullets. Who the hell else needs Gold Lewis has his bar, like a mechanic within the character, right? He doesn't have that. So this is very straightforward. So this is technically an easier Johnny because you don't have to. It technically is because you don't have to now manage resources with him.
True, but it just still seemed like he's hard to combo with. Maybe I'm just thinking like the difficulty is still there. Maybe
I hope so.
But I've always known Johnny to be like kind of like how Eddie Rosato has been. It's not a cakewalk, he's learning some things. He
is a bit of a technical character because, like I said, things like that resource. But in this game, it's going to be a little bit easier for him to do his thing, to be honest, from what I'm looking at here. And that includes, we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but VS Fighting 11 happened, and there was a build of season 3 in there. There's already footage of Johnny mirrors and people playing with them, and one of the first things someone went for was like, is Tiger Knee Misfinder, is that an overhead? Which it is. It's an actual overhead. So he has that, similar to Biken, right? Is the TK Yozansen, is that an overhead? Yeah, it's the same kind of deal. So he's got some tools. His supers also are insane. He's got a completely invo super, not with Joker trick. It was my name. Yeah, that's my name. Hi, my name is completely invo, so you can punish. Open enough strings or block strings that aren't real. You can just reversal them, which is awesome. Then you got Joker Trick, which is a super fast projectile reminiscent of his oh my god, what's it called? Insta kill from the previous games, which is really cool. But this is supposed to be able to just punish from full screen. It's very fast. It goes through projectiles, so he's dangerous. When he has tension, he is dangerous practically everywhere on the screen, except in the air. I think his air game's gonna be not the best.
He kind of reminds me of Slayer with the big damage, the like kind of full threat with having tension now. Like, I definitely know people probably wanted Slayer, but this is just as scary. I'm sorry, this is an easy version of Johnny. It doesn't sound pleasing for some people to fight.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna pick him up day one. That was my secondary.
That was the first character I fought against in the arcade when I first finally played Guilty. So I went to go play Blaze Blue at the arcade at Chinatown Fair, actually, before it closed down. And it was when they first had Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger, before, like, arcade version, before anything. And I was like, I gotta play it. I went there to go play it, but before I played it, there's so many people sitting down. I was like, I'll play Guilty Gear. So I'm sitting there playing Guilty Gear, and I got bodied. Yeah, bro, I got bodied by a Johnny. I was like, I'm never playing this game again on arcade. At least not this one.
I gotcha.
Well, that's the thing. I was always sort of envious of the Johnnies that I would fight in like Guilty Gear Reload online. I'm like, damn, he's really good. And then like even the gold version of Johnny was really good.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, this character is very hard to fight. Like, he has all of the access to the character is cool. So I went with the second coolest character, which was Slayer. So yeah, just all the wall bounces that they have like the access to in the game. And like, I didn't even play like through Accent Core, or I don't even see Accent Core Johnnies. And again, I mentioned Omito, but I don't remember much of Rev 2 or you know, well, he was only in Rev 1 and Rev 2, right?
Rev 2. I don't believe he was in Rev 1. I don't.
So
I could
2.
be. No. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Rev 2 only brought Biken and Answer. Johnny was there in Rev 1. Yeah, because Rev 2 was the version that they had the nerf. Yes. But he was still viable throughout the game's life, to my knowledge. But yeah, only critique I got for this is I am very disappointed with ArcSys for doing this, which is, how you gonna have the My Name Is super, like, he does this thing, right? He actually gets to carve the J, right? And he's supposed to turn around and be cool. Doesn't do the Elvis. Why? Or the MJ where he's on his toes afterwards, just like, ugh.
And he just, doesn't he do the point too? Yeah, he does the point too.
I'm like, bro, that was part of the steez. Like, come on, keep it going. Now he just does like super cool, like, oh, cool heroes don't look at the explosions, right? When he explodes behind him. But back in the day, it was just like, hey, and then he'd be on his toes, like, steez, bro. But they took that away. So it's a nerf. Characters bottom 1.
Won't use that super, basically.
It is what it is. Bottom 1, guaranteed.
Who cares about invul supers?
Yeah, fuck that. If you don't give me the pose, I don't care about the super. I'm not gonna use it. Psych. I'm gonna use that shit as soon as someone tries to press something in between. I'm like, is this a gap? And I'm just gonna do it. But yeah, so we get to kind of following up with what I said earlier. This isn't the only place we got some footage of Johnny versus fighting 11. Which was an event out in the UK. Which is that the one you went to, Meza, or you went to a different one?
No, I went to a different one, but VS Fighting is just as big. Yeah, I went to Rev.
Okay, it's huge. They had a build. Let me see if I can find any more footage on it. But they had a build there, and you already got to play Johnny there. Which, mind you, also fun fact, they gave him a beard. If you press up on him when in the character select, he actually gets a beard.
That's weird.
Fucking weird. But you know what? I like it because I'm like, hey, if they did that with Johnny, could they do that with other characters? That'd be so cool if they just did that, like little treats like that in between. But yeah. So regardless, like I said, they had a build there, and people were able to play with Johnny. They were also able to just check out other characters and just the changes overall as to what's going on. So we got to see some new moves, right? Like, it's very old school FGC, where it's like for some reason really
Get the
bad,
cameras out.
really bad camera phones somehow. Still in this day and age of 2023, we still got like not really the best. Like no one decided to actually focus in on the screen or properly change the exposure to the screen so that way the screen isn't the brightest thing and it looks all washed out.
That's why they just need me there. All right, that was not bad.
There's some good ones. There's some good ones. So we actually get to see some wild assaults. We get to see some cool combos.
Yeah, I personally went to see Diaphone's video. He had a good coverage on it. That was a shortened overhead kick by Kai, by the way.
Yeah.
Or very slower, much slower.
Yeah, the stun, not stun dipper. What is
Fude arc?
No, Fude arc. Yeah, Fude arc. That joint. But yeah,
we got it down. Oh my god, people are so crybabies. Come on. Kai
you could jab it before. I never did because I'm a nut.
Yeah, you can 6P it. But yeah, so we get to see there's just a bunch of footage out there. If you look up, hashtag GGST, VSFXI for versus Fighting 11, you'll see it out there. It looks dope. It looks, what I'm hearing is really cool. We didn't get to see all the characters. It's only however many people decided to actually post up about it, try to get that Twitter clout. But some interesting things like the Jacko shield command now. It's no longer that it gives you that weird guard broken state. Like if you get hit by Gold Lewis right in the air, you actually like bounce back and all. That's what it did in the previous version. Now it actually just like twirls you instantly in the air, meaning she could probably combo off of it. So there's a lot more utility, but it seems also it might have been a slight nerf to the hitbox to it, because you actually get to see Testament hit through too. But when it hits right, you get to have that that spinning effect afterwards. There's a return for doing it. And there's even stuff for the biking boys, right? Like I said, it's limited. I have to kind of search around even more. Yozansen is taking a little bit of a nerf, where it now like kind of smacks your opponent away, but you can still RC it if you do it correctly. But it's not as free now. But there's supposedly other buffs that you can still do. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. So the game overall is shaping out to really just change the landscape up. Oh, sorry. Let me bring up the most important part. Full screen burst is a thing now. Like it's now almost like a YRC in Rev 2 where it was like, or any RCs in Rev 2 where it was like full screen. Well, burst now is full screen. You might be like, why is that a big deal? It's like, because now that means you can actually burst Happy Chaos if he fucking hits you from across the screen, because you get hit across the screen in the current build and he shoots you, there is literally nothing you can do about it but hold it. That's it. But now it's changed. So now burst is full screen. It has a wave that like hits, and gold burst got changed, where gold burst no longer gives you full meter, but if you get gold burst, you actually get positive.
I thought it was your -2 now.
That was like somebody just guessing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought they actually played it from what I saw, because it's like, oh, -2. That's not bad, but not good. You ain't taking your turn.
Yeah, no. Well, it is negative,
but
that's. I think that's fine. I like burst. If you block it, you should. No. It should be punishable.
Apparently, you can still air block it. Go watch the iPhone's video. Honestly,
we'll go peep it out.
That had the most information.
We'll peep it out.
For me at least.
Yeah, we're gonna peep it out. But yeah, so a lot of changes are happening. New moves. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be a great time to check out. Like I said, the game is looking to just completely flip the script on itself, and I'm super excited for it. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be a great time. I think it'll be, it was long overdue. Like Strive was long overdue for not just like small balance changes, but like real changes to the systems, to the mechanics, updating it. Because now the game has been out, what, is it 3 years?
No, 2021.
No, was it just only 2 years?
Yeah, because 2019 was when it was announced, when we first saw Nagari.
You're right. Yeah, 2021. You're right. So yeah, I think it was due for a little bit of a facelift, and I think this next patch is going to be a good start. On top of the possible characters that they're going to drop. With maybe additional, we won't know if there are additional movesets, but if they're legacy characters, we'll know if there are additional movesets. but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Once again, yeah, it should be August 24th. Let me double check. August 24th. Is that when we're looking at the release? Come on.
23rd to 24th. Yeah, either tomorrow or the next.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it's this week. So
Thursday.
Yeah, it's literally Thursday. So best believe I know what I'm doing this weekend is playing some Strive and gonna go shake things up with some Johnny. I don't know about you guys, but that's I'm taking for the weekend.
Disney's not out.
Not yet. Who knows? Maybe not yet.
You're gonna wait another whole year.
Yeah. So
I'll keep waiting.
So with that, I actually have we have one other topic we're gonna engage in, which is actually before we hit this topic, Dragon Ball FighterZ patch note is incoming. Bandai has confirmed it was earlier today. Bandai Namco Esports on their official Twitter have confirmed, hey fighters, keep an eye out for an upcoming patch notes dropping tomorrow. So August 23rd, we should hear patch notes. Now, whether or not that includes the rollback, whether or not that includes any other system changes, or even a date, because right now not in the best graces for a lot of cats. But at least we have an idea of something happening. We're gonna see if fusion characters, the pay to win characters, are finally getting the nerf to kind of stabilize it, because grand finals. In the grand finals theme of everything being a mirror, you kind of want more variety.
What I don't understand is why they haven't started working on the second build of the game. I think that
for all we know they have. I don't
know
if they're gonna tell us.
It's just run into the ground. They said they weren't originally adding more characters. It feels like they're still riding this high of like, hey, Dragon Ball FighterZ could be great still. But what I don't understand is why even say this when you know you're getting so much backlash. Just drop whatever you're going to drop, right? Let people figure it out. Because I feel like you say, hey guys, this is coming, and it's not what people want because they're speculating. It just looks bad.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Shout outs to Tiny Torg on Twitter making a bingo card to see what happens, see who gets it. Everything from Piccolo buffs, the 16 unchanged, fusion is actually substantially nerfed. Auto combo range buff, Z Brawly buffs, more Labco 21 nerfs. GT gets worse, Spirit Bomb Oki again.
I just like that someone gets insane new combos.
Bardock Lariat jails into vanish again. Oh lord, oh my goodness.
Man, bring back the Cell combos. Those were cool as hell.
Literally right here. Cell Videl combo is broken again.
The problem is power creep, man. That's it.
Power creep.
The game has changed because of the DLC.
Amongst other
Blue
things.
Blue Vegeta is just getting, look at that. Blue Vegeta, the biggest nerf. Big Bang Attack nerf. Yeah. He can do 2 Big Bang attacks back to back. I mean, Moldy Bagel released a video about how.
Isn't it like plus 32 or something? Isn't it like plus a million?
Probably, yeah. But he
I don't know, man.
Auto combo. Good.
I was just gonna say, it just feels like the game just kind of got stale, and I knew this would happen when they kept introducing the same character over and over, just different variations. Because everybody's like, we want them, but it's like they're not gonna play that much different, and they're gonna be overpowered. Just ask for anybody else. Like, where's Pecan? Where is he? I'm trying to see
Pecan.
I'm calling him Pecan because we used to make the joke pecan, right? So he's Pecan.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, if you want to go into deep lore, where's Android 13? Where is
no.
Bojack?
We don't care about those characters. Where is Bojack? Yes, please.
Come on, they're all both movie characters.
Yeah.
You talked about a movie character, Pycon, even though he was in a cartoon once, or twice.
Yeah,
what about if you want to go there? Where's Deborah? My favorite is where's Mountain Vegeta. There you go.
I mean,
we don't need. I'm still in the camp of I did not want so many of the same freaking characters, and I thought we would have maybe some transformations to be a little different. That would have been cool, but also transformations would have probably changed the whole system mechanic as we know it. I still fall back to that as I think that was the path.
The main problem the game has is there's a huge lack of outfits. Okay, so just getting that there, because Trunks can be like one of my favorite characters. I hate Trunks. We all know that. But if he had the long hair, everybody knows I hate Trunks.
But you said he was your favorite character.
Well, he was my favorite when he has the long hair and has like the jacket off.
Okay,
and, or if
you like the Calvin Klein
I like after chamber.
Got it.
After the chamber.
Yeah.
I don't like sword Trunks.
How do you say his name? Turles.
Turtles.
Yeah, let's just do three of my characters while we're at it.
Next, you're gonna say you want to see Raditz and Super Saiyan.
Yeah, give me another Goku. Give me Raditz, Super Saiyan 4. Give me all that.
Just give me all the GT characters.
Yeah, just give me the Dragon Ball Super Heroes character. What the fuck it's called?
Oh, Lord.
Give me all
the
Super Saiyan.
I will say that is surprising we didn't get any of them. Besides,
we don't know if that's we don't know. That could still be a thing.
That's weird.
We'll find out. But yeah, so we're just gonna have to wait and find out, see if the patch notes do arrive before Strive. Now it's kind of a little bit of a race. Make sure to get your bingo cards. In the meantime, so one little topic I wanted to talk to you guys about, because MK has been obviously in the limelight today, but it's kind of been a topic that has been going around on the Twitter space a bit. And it's not only say it started from this tweet, but it's like one of the main tweets I did happen to get. And MK has been around for so long, right? It rivals that of Street Fighter, right? In terms of longevity, before your Tekkens, before any of your Arc Sys games. It's a cultural. It's just a part of our culture. It's just putting it out there. It's deep impact. And what was it known for, right? I mean, no, this is not a rhetorical question. Class, what was Mortal Kombat known for?
Blood.
Exactly.
Gore.
The blood, the gore, the fatality, the realistic characters, quote unquote, right?
Oh, and the
at the time.
Guy.
And the whoop and Toasty, right? Yeah.
Toasty. Yeah.
So nowadays in this more, I don't want to say proper age or anything like that. In the age of sensitivity, in the age of more people watching more things, which is fine, kids being exposed to more to watch, right? MK, right, is a more adult orientated game because of the sheer gore and everything in it, right? It's not something you give little Timmy to play while he's at your uncle's house or at home or something like that.
Instead, give him a call.
I have a story.
Okay.
So I know where you're going, but I have a story. This weekend was the beta. I went over to my brother's house because I uploaded it on his PS5. I don't have one. So I uploaded on his PS5 my account, and he was like, why is it not working? And I'm like, oh my God, let me go over and I'll put it on. He's on the couch with his daughter. She's 7. And I played. And then he goes, what is it? He does the Liu Kang fatality. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, all right. So, the head splat, boom, spaghetti all coming down. She goes, man, he's everywhere.
Start him off young.
So she goes, man, and his guts are everywhere. I'm like, yeah, they are.
Okay.
So
all right.
Had a moment.
Then the thing is, she started to memorize the inputs. She was like, oh, so it's like forward, down, forward. Okay, good. I remember. And I'm like, all right, she's not going to win to get there. So that's cool. But eventually she's going to know. And she knows that they're there.
Mm-hmm. Did she win?
Yeah. Huh? No.
Oh, okay.
Anytime she lost, I finished the ladder for her. But I was like, oh, God, man, I can't. Like, I was like, I'm not showing the Sub-Zero one. I'm not doing the other one. I'm not doing So,
what if she just figured out where the combo list was and then just was like, oh, that's
everybody should.
She can, yeah, but if she can get past it. But to Dre's point, he's going somewhere with it.
So the whole point of that, thanks for the story, is, that's been talked about, in a more esports centric world, bit more, proper for TV, proper for broadcasting, proper for sponsorship, proper for all these companies to get involved. The talk has been like Mortal Kombat has obviously not had the same opportunities due to the fact that it is a gore fest of a game. that's what it is, right? And companies might not want to get involved with that, even though it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural icon. It's known for that. It's accepted for that. It's literally one of the big reasons why the ESRB was created in the first place, which helps rate and set games up to what audiences what age you should be at, just like the rating system for movies, right? Literally the same thing. Rewind, former Evo champ, known player in the NRS community, right? Brought it up last week, or a little bit more than last week, actually. I don't realistically see Mortal Kombat having the same opportunities as Street Fighter with all the gore. They have to figure out a way to toggle the gore and blood on and off so esports can thrive. So what he's saying at is, as a player who's invested in playing this game, making the tours, the tournaments and such, right? Depending on what companies want to get into bed with said tournament or where they want to have their logos at or be affiliated with, they might not want to be affiliated with a game that not endorses, but it's about killing each other and seeing it, right? Spines getting ripped out, femurs getting dislocated, ribs getting crushed, characters getting eaten by lizards and vomited back out into acid to then probably get eaten again. It's like, yes, it's beautiful. Oh, give me more MK. But is that what a company wants to get involved with, right? So that naturally tends to limit opportunities because it's just how brands want to be affiliated. And this is nothing new. This is not new. We've been on ESPN and Armika couldn't wear her default costume, right? Cammy's intro was changed to make it more acceptable to be seen. It's not new in this IP, and they've even had like the ability to turn blood off before, right? Yeah, Combat League. They've had the ability to turn blood off, and even there have been other precautions already where you weren't allowed to do a fatality, or they, didn't want. They would never show it on screen, right? They wouldn't show it on screen. So there have been, countermeasures to it, but what Rewind is kind of more alluding to, it's like, can there be like an esports toggle? It's almost like a censorship toggle you could have in the game, or it sounds like that's where he's leading towards. It kind of sounds like the thing we talked about with Skullgirls, right? Where they censored the game that was, already bought or whatever. They changed it, a bunch of cutscenes, this, that, and the other. And it got some people riled up because it was just part of the identity of the game. And they didn't want to have that forcefully, I want to be very clear, forcefully pulled away without the consumers who have paid money for said content or for that identity to exist in their library, in their games, whatever, like, their physical copies, digital copies, whatever. I am for, if you want to clean it up, let there be a toggle for it. But once again, let it be to the consumers to change that. If it's supposed to be broadcast orientated, okay. Hey, did someone turn off the blood in before we started broadcasting? It's like, no. Oh, okay. Well, some sponsor might get pissed, but there you go. Perfect Legend actually posted up on Twitter. MK9 used to have no blood code that disabled blood and fatalities. It was already there. But it's interesting because that frame of thought is because these players are invested in this time and they want to have every opportunity. Is it unfair that one game gets to have more opportunity than the other just because of the identity? I'm like, that's kind of like the norm, though, isn't it? NBA gets more opportunities than, I don't know, NFL does in certain areas, for all we know, right?
Well, you have to also look at the concept that, like, okay, we're talking about redesigning the game. We're not even talking about making the game acceptable for people to watch, right? Because like back then it was easy. Like they're just hitting each other. They're not doing fatal blows. They're not doing any of these extreme moves that have detail to them. And it's not even just the blood. We're talking about like cracking bones and
X-rays, mechanics, and stuff like that, right?
Like, so now we're talking about redesigning the game. And here's how I look at it is I understand both sides, but if you tell them to redesign the game and they never had this in thought that, hey, we need to kind of tone it down or have that option, it's almost like saying make two different games or take away something that, like you said, is the identity of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think you could take away me crushing someone's bones if I design that for that moment, unless you just have it so they just hit them and then you see the impact of the damage, but not from the outside, right? I mean, not from the inside. You just see the outside. That's doable, and I guess it makes sense, but we're talking about possibly playing a different game at this point. So I don't know if that's feasible or if that's a patch that can be made, but how much to the degree of the game has to change. That's we have to look at.
And the other part also, which I didn't get a chance to bring up, was even the idea of monetization and content creators for the game.
Yep, that was my next spot.
Like, how often do you see the rainbow filter and such, because YouTube will recognize that, and it's like, well, you know, you could have passion for this game and you're like, oh, you're into the lore, you're into playing the game, maybe you're just a high ranking player and you want to put up your sessions, and maybe you got a following, but you can never monetize on it because it's the game you picked, not because of yourself, not because of the system, but inherently because you just happen to have rolled the dice, like line them up, let's do this, and you rolled craps on and got MK, and now you can't make money off of doing that, putting the same grind as another. If you were a Street Fighter content creator, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? It didn't matter. It would just, because it didn't have that, it wasn't part of that identity, right? Yeah, you got bruises, blah blah blah, not a big deal, whatever. But you know that it fall like, so a streamer mode or a gore mode on and off, a blood mode, combat code, something. Give Havoc a lower jaw so he doesn't, you know, but how does that work with characters like Havoc, right? Like, where their identity, literal identity of the character is this very gruesome, really grotesque way of fighting, where it's like, how do you fix that? And is that an investment enough from NRS? Because that takes time, that takes people, that makes money, that takes money and resources to create that addition to it. Is it in their scope to do it? Do they even care? Right, is the other thing.
I think another big thing we have to realize is, like, if we're talking about doing like streamer modes and stuff like that, it's not just going to be on NRS, it's also going to be on those platforms, right? So like we talked about how, yeah, okay, they're not going to be able to make as much money as maybe like a Street Fighter player who is at the top and able to put out their sessions of content, which it does suck, but that's why there's other platforms. And I do understand it sucks, because now you're being relegated towards like maybe having to use TikTok more, or Instagram, or something that's not gonna, maybe not Instagram, but maybe TikTok or Rumble.tv and other platforms that you don't normally want to be on. Which then I do agree, it begs to differ. Like, okay, well, we lost opportunities, but you got to remember, you also kind of chose that game. I mean, like, this is not new. We've seen the formula for NRS games be like this. Injustice was a great example of how they kind of reeled it back. But we got to be honest with ourselves. This is MK, right? So if people were asking for this should have been the first thought the moment they were like, we're announcing a new MK game, right? It shouldn't have been a last thought when they're like, oh man, just like before, crazy combos, crazy broken ribs, lots of gore. Like, this has to be something that the community comes together and probably doesn't say censorship, but finds a way to, like you said, make a limitation on it, where it's like, okay, if we go play on ESPN, or we're playing on, like, I don't know, Fox TV, can we get away with showing some things, or
Fox
can we not?
TV.
Yeah, I use Fox because there's nothing else in my head. I'm not gonna say WB. WB is like the most
NBC,
I mean,
ABC,
like,
baby.
like the family channel.
Yeah,
It's like ABC Family.
HGTV.
there you go.
Could you imagine NRS games like MK next to like a Hallmark movie, like right after you finish, like
Right after
MK,
Lil Bill.
like here's Hallmark. You see somebody getting a crushing blow in the between,
Flawless.
as your ad.
Flawless victory.
Next on
So
ABC
so.
Family, 8 o'clock.
MK1.
ABC Family After Hours.
After hours.
Oh yeah, I mean,
They're just like Adult Swim, and you have the tsunami, like lo-fi.
TGI Fridays. Thank God it's fatality.
So look, geez, that went somewhere.
Oh, wow.
I think, yes, I'm down for like the whole. I mean, obviously, this is why these guys, they put like a color filter over the videos. Definitely, if they want to monetize it, but like, people are not willing to just put the video out there and just be like, yeah, you know, and then there, boom, they're demonetized or something. Like, it's a different world. Like, that's actually what you guys are, what we're all talking about. However, I think it depends on who's want to monetize it. Like tournaments, do they monetize off of their uploads? I mean, you have a lot of players who do that for different games, like the VODs and all that,
the replay vultures, all that stuff.
Like Jaco Man, yeah, stuff like that. Like Jaco Man, he does that for Marvel. He'll have a match be played on his stream and or on his PS4 and put it up there. Like me losing it first to 10 for a reason. So
go look it up, Jaco Man, Static Gorilla, first to 10, get bodied. I've
lost probably all of them. It's okay. It just happens.
But yeah, it is an interesting situation. Is it just Mortal Kombat isn't for you, go pick another game, or is this something that should be tackled? It's interesting because, especially like I said, in the day and age now where you can monetize it all, there's just so much more you can just, it could be put everywhere, more people can see it, it's more exposed. It's like, I like the NRS. Just they accept it. They accept it for what it is, and they're still Combat League, right? Which is just their own internal circuit, that they control, and they're the ones that can make those deals. But when it comes to anything more esportsy, that's like something that's a bridge we'll have to burn when we get to it.
I'll say this real quick. Maybe we have to look at from a more raw situation, such as like something like Gamescom. Right? Does that work? Like, they let it rock. Is that okay? Do they, like,
good point.
You got to look at it from there as a starting point because they showcased the whole thing, full blood, gore, everything. So are people willing to be, or companies more willing to be accepting of the fact that that's just Mortal Kombat?
At this point, the game's been out for fucking, 30 something years now? It's like, that's like, it has not been apologetic about it. The most we've had is like, right when it was on Nintendo, right? There was no blood in the original one. It was sweat.
Depending which one you got it for.
Yeah, if it was Genesis, you got the blood code.
ACABABB.
Yeah, the one with the inferior music and everything, right, Gabe? You never liked the Genesis music.
You shut your mouth.
You said the Super Nintendo
Sega
was better.
Genesis.
Anyway.
No, Sega Genesis is the...
You started
We've had arguments about this. We've had arguments. I don't know what he's doing. His connection's breaking up. I can't hear you, Gabe. You're gone. But what do you guys think? Let us know. You think MK1 should be more esportsy or have the ability to? Or should just say, fuck it, man. I want to see every one of those ribs, every floating rib. I want to break all of that. I want to see it at all times. I want to see your spine from your what is it? It's like 9 o'clock. You're 9, you're 12, and you're 5. Be ready. Have to see it all times. Oh, okay. We got the authentic. Sorry, I can't see it. Sorry, we're transitioning over. Oh, crap. Your camera's still there. Nice. Yeah. Inferior one. Absolutely. You're just proving the fact. But
he just doesn't have to blow in it. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Let us know, guys, what you think on the current, on that, kind of thought process. Should it be, should be streamlined a little bit more to have those, opportunities, all that good stuff. Let us know, of course. But with that is going to wrap us up for this episode. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. You guys can, of course, follow my awesome host here, Static Gorilla, at Static Gorilla, where he plays the inferior version of Mortal Kombat, obviously in the Genesis, on all social media platforms, on his stream, all that stuff. There you go. Does Fightcade support that? That'd be kind of interesting if it did. But you can also follow Meza at MezaFGC on all social media platforms as well. On Kick, he's been rocking the DFO community, supporting them over there, doing his weekly streams. So go check it out if you're interested in that whole field. Man, you just got the whole trilogy. Damn. And of course, you can follow Double Tap at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms. Make sure to subscribe to us over on YouTube, where we will have a bunch of this show's highlighted videos on there. And follow me at CrashTagVS. And of course, you guys can check us out on all podcast platforms. We're everywhere: iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Like, we are Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. We're everywhere. So whatever your flavor is, we are there. Let us know what you think about the show. Rate it, review it. Shout out to everyone that's done it on Spotify too. This is a really great feedback that we've gotten. I think we're like at 4 or 5. I think we're at like 5 stars or something like that, which is fucking amazing.
Nice.
Appreciate you guys for doing that for us. But we'll be live next week on Monday. That is Monday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch, twitch.tv/MashThosButtons. We'll talk about some more Guilty Gear and anything else that is coming up this week. Maybe that Dragon Ball patch notes will hit us. Finally, we get to see what the end game of this game is going to actually be. But in the meantime, though, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Stay tuned after the show to hear about the other shows here on the MTB Network. I've been Crash, that's been Static, that's been Meza, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Later.